Let's talk about the never-ending debate on the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. Classic staple or basic bitch bag? Welcome to the Sunshine Fashion Love channel. I am Jen, and this is one of my latest pre-loved purchases, and if I'm keeping it 100, I'm not sure I should have bought this bag. I know it's super popular, it's everywhere. This is one of Louis Vuitton's most popular items. The price has also skyrocketed over the past 2 decades. Now, I remember when I first saw a Neverfull out in the wild. It was maybe around 2007, and that's when the bag would have been a new release. And I was working in a local TV newsroom at the time. In my previous life, I used to be a news producer. I certainly couldn't afford anything like this. I don't know what was going on. I just wouldn't have thought I could afford anything at Louis Vuitton. I didn't know anything about the pricing. But I saw one of the anchors at the station I worked at. She walked into the newsroom one day and she was carrying the Neverfull. I didn't know what it was called or anything like that. I didn't really know much about the brand. This woman was very stylish. She had designer everything. Her husband was always buying her fancy shoes. She was dressed to the nines. So she was probably one of the most fashionable women I've worked with. In fact, she still is really into this sort of thing. So that was the first time I ever saw a Neverfull, but I didn't know what it was or anything like that. I've known a few people who've carried Louis Vuitton stuff, but it was not really a brand that was on my radar. So I bought this from Yoogi's Closet recently. They release new arrivals every morning, usually around like 9:30 or 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I saw this and I was like, that's a really good price, because these on the resale market are very hot, and a lot of bags, even in like pretty used condition, I'm seeing them sold for like $1,000, more than that if they include the pouches. So this bag is the Neverfull MM in monogram print with the vachetta leather trim. I believe this is from 2017, I think, and it is made in France. I saw it on the website and I thought the price looked really good. It was a lot cheaper than a lot of the other Neverfulls I've seen on the pre-loved market. So I was like, all right, I should jump on this. Even though, quite frankly, this is not a bag I was really interested in picking up. I'm just keeping it 100. This might be a FOMO purchase. Like, that's the honest truth. I have other bags that are similar. I have a Cabas Mezzo that I got off of eBay, and I also have a Delightful PM, the old model, and that is somewhat similar. Obviously not the same bag, but has a similar capacity. It has one strap over the top, and I really do like that this bag has the leather trim across the top, just because I think that will help from cracking canvas or whatnot. So I saw it on the website and I decided to snatch it up, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should have bought this, but I did. So it arrived. The listing was somewhat accurate. They didn't disclose the corner rubs. There are some fairly minor corner rubs on this bag, but for the price I paid well under $1,000, guys. I still think it was a good deal. With Yoogi's Closet, you do have, I believe, about 15 days to return an item. And sometimes I find the listings are like, it'll say like new or new, and then it will disclose flaws like soiling on the inside or corner rubs. So sometimes you do have to pay attention and look at the photos closely, look at the description and condition of the item, because sometimes I do see some typos or errors within the listings. So you do need to watch out for that. But I find out of all of the bigger reseller websites, I think Yoogi's Closet has some of the best prices. So I saw this and I was like, all right, it did not come with the pouch. I'm okay with that. I have been keeping it stuffed with these air pillows and air packs. So I will read the dimensions. So the Neverfull MM tote is the medium size. It is 12.2 inches by 11 inches by 5.5 inches. So I believe 12.2 is this way, 11 inches tall, and then 5.5 inches deep. And this is sort of like just a very open style tote. It does come with a removable pouch, but the one I purchased did not have one, and that's honestly okay. I wasn't really sure what I would use the pouch for anyways. I've seen a lot of the pouches being sold by themselves, and I think just the flat shape of them just doesn't seem very practical for me. So I'm totally cool with it not coming with the pouch. All right, so let's open up the bag here. Let's take some of this out. Mine has a beige interior and it is super clean. There's no staining, no soiling, no nothing. Whoever had this before me took very good care of it. There is a honey patina on the leather, and there are some like watermarks and stuff like that, and minor corner wear, and that's pretty much it. So I think it's in pretty good condition. Now I have started this process, but I have to finish it. The edges of the straps and the leather trim, some of it was starting to get a little like fuzzy. So you can see like the leather fibers coming out. I actually was able to repair it. So I've started the process, and I'm gonna do a separate video on fixing it so that the edges are smooth and no longer looks sort of like raggedy, if you get what I'm saying. That's a pretty easy project and just requires a couple very simple products. And yeah, I cleaned the bag up. I have been using, again, I'm not an expert, I've been using like just pure water wipes on the canvas, and then I've been using distilled water only because it actually does not leave marks on the vachetta on the leather, and then conditioning the leather. I do also use Lexol leather cleaner and then Cadillac boot and shoe leather lotion. Again, do this at your own risk. I'm not an expert. This is just what I've been doing. And then, yeah, I bought this like burnishing gum and a burnishing tool, and I've been able to fix the straps and get them looking in better shape. I did clean and condition the leather trim. I think the bag looks pretty good overall. And I also have been using this product called Mother's Protectant on the canvas. And that's for like things that are like vinyl or plastic coated. And it gives a really nice shine and sheen to the canvas and kind of revitalizes it. But the canvas on this bag is in pretty good condition. I got a bag organizer from Amazon. It's felt, I think the quality is decent. My only criticism with this one, I do like the organization on the inside. It's got a cup holder, it's got a few pockets, a zipper pocket, lots of stuff, room for your phone. And it also had this insert to kind of help keep the bottom shape. The only criticism I have of it is that I feel like it could be a little bit more snug fitting. I feel like it's a tad too small for the bag. And if it was just a little bit bigger, I think it would have, you see what I mean? There's like some gaps. So maybe if I fill this, it won't be, maybe it'll help. In my opinion, the fit on this insert just could have been a little bit better, but I think the quality is decent, and I thought it was pretty inexpensive. I got it from Amazon. I will link it below down in the description box. It is an affiliate link, but I purchased everything in this video myself. And if you have any other suggestions for better bag organizers, let me know down in the comments. Something that's not too crazy expensive, but you see what I mean? Like it looks like it's not quite a perfect fit, if that makes sense. So this does have a pocket as well. So it is a zipper pocket, sort of kind of a separate flap here with the pocket in there. It has a D-ring, so you can hang things, you can hang keys or some sort of like keychain, something like that. And then even though it does not have a zippered top, it does have a clasp that you can keep the bag from kind of totally coming open here. So it's got this little clasp here. So I think that's a nice detail. And, you know, it's not a bad bag. I don't know if I should have purchased this, but I do think it's nice. I think I'll be real, I got it because it was such a good deal. If this wasn't such a good deal, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but this is one of Louis Vuitton's like classic bags, so I thought I couldn't go wrong. If I didn't end up liking it, I guess I could always rehome it to somebody else. This is so popular, I didn't think that would be much of a problem. It's got these side cinches here, so you can actually give the bag a slightly different shape here. I don't personally like the way that looks with the side cinched in. It's just not really my vibe, so I'm probably not going to be doing that. I think it's got some nice details. The straps are a bit thin. I don't plan to put anything real heavy in here. I know it can handle a large capacity, but I don't really want to stress the straps and the weight of the bag too much. So I want to be kind of gentle with it, and I don't really plan on putting anything super heavy in this myself, but I've seen other people do it. Now, there is an ongoing, never-ending debate about the Neverfull, and that's, you know, is this such a classic must-have designer bag? Is this a great first designer bag? And I've seen a lot of people purchase this as like their first LV item, and I think that's cool. But I've also seen some other folks be like, this is jumped the shark, it's a basic bitch bag, it's everywhere, you should not buy it, it's not worth the money. And the price currently, I think for this one, is over $2,000 plus tax. So I didn't pay anywhere near that. I wouldn't pay that much for a new one, honestly. Really, I mean, it's a tote bag. I don't know if I would pay over $2,000 for a tote bag. Would I pay what I paid? You know, I guess so. So, I mean, I did purchase it. So I guess that's my question. Is this bag in or out? Is it classic or is it outdated and not a thing anymore? And I posted a picture on Instagram the other day, and Mrs. Leva said, according to TikTok, the Neverfull is back. Now, we all know TikTok trends last about 5 minutes, so I'm sure next week they're probably going to be back to trashing the Neverfull and saying, you know, how stupid it is or how overpriced it is or whatever, and pointing out all of the flaws, which, you know, I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say, and some people love this bag, some people hate this bag. It's just such a talked about bag. I'm like, it's a tote bag. It's a tote bag. So I think it's a perfectly good item. This one's held up pretty well over the past few years. It does have I do like the nice honey patina. And my straps, they're a little bit dark. Like sometimes when you see bags being sold, the handles get really dark from someone carrying it and like the oils on your hand and stuff. Mine isn't too bad. Like it's definitely darker at the top, but it's not, you know, it's not like pitch black or anything. So I think the condition mine is in is pretty good. And I do tend to see a lot of corner wear. In fact, it's very common for me to see when someone's posting a damier Ebene bag, that's the brown checkerboard pattern. Those tend to have, in my opinion, more noticeable corner wear. Sometimes it rubs off to the point where it turns black, and then you start to see the red lining on the inside. And this isn't really a true lining. This to me seems like cotton. It's like regular cotton canvas. So the outside of this bag is coated canvas, but the inside, it's like they sort of glue this to the back of the canvas. So it's not a separate lining. I actually sew on one of my other channels, and this is not a true bag lining. So this is more backing of the canvas. They assemble the bag, and then the bottom, this section, how they attach this, there's some like faux piping here, and then on the inside, they clean it up and make it look neat with binding. So what you see on the inside is actually the binding fabric, and that's a pretty common technique in sewing. So this bag really does not have a lining, which is separate. So that's something you should know about the Neverfull. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I got a really good deal on it. Is this a bag I really needed? I guess no. Am I gonna turn into one of those basic AF chicks who's going to Target? I got my Starbucks, a Stanley Cup. You know, they got the cozy sweaters, leggings, Ugg boots, perfectly blown out curled hair. Probably not. So maybe, I guess I can't be like one of those generic Pinterest influencer people, I guess. But that's what you see whenever you are looking at photos or videos of this bag. It seems to be that kind of vibe. But what do you think about the Neverfull? Do you have one? Is this a bag that is on your wish list? What do you like and not like about it? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to be doing more videos with this bag and maybe comparing it to some other bags. I got a good deal on it. Thanks, Yoogi's Closet. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a bag. Anyways, I'm Jen with the Sunshine Fashion Love channel. Check out some of my other videos, and I will see you again in the next one.